Hi, Danny. Hi, Abby. How are you? How's America? Hi, Geraldine. Hi, Benaya. What's good, man? How's America, guys? Hey, Julia. How are you? You alright? Hi, Auntie Safwa. How are you? Hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy new month and happy Black History Month. And on top of that, happy Mental Health Awareness Month. So, today being, Mental Health Awareness Month, this month being Mental Health Awareness Month, I thought it was right for us to discuss mental health. Mental health is something that a lot of people... Alright, let me turn this down now. It's something that a lot of people don't talk about or they shy away from. And I've noticed, especially in the Black community, we don't like to address mental health for whatever reason that it may be. Thank you for tuning in, Lady Janice. We don't like to address mental health for whatever reason that it may be. Black men are just meant to seem strong, like they don't have any problems, they don't go for anything. So when it comes to mental health, it's not something that we really sit down and actually discuss. Like, we don't actually have time to find out if, your partner, maybe your brother, your uncle, your dad, we don't really have time to find out if mentally they're stable. We just assume, yeah, he's the man, he's strong, he's got it, don't worry about it, blah, 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 X, Y, Z. But, this month is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I think we should address the issue. Being it the 1st of October, I thought, why not? Let's talk about mental health. Let's actually keep it real and talk about these things that we don't really talk about. So today we'll be addressing mental health. I have a lady called Nicola who is part of a group called Inside and Out, and they solely deal with mental health. So they go into schools, they run workshops on mental health, how to diagnose it, I think, with the different types, because there's different types of mental health. Some people just think, oh, maybe if you're substance abusing or you're scarring yourself or blah blah blah, but there's some mental health with which is actually eating disorders. Like, some people actually don't eat, personality disorders. So there's a whole range of things that cover mental health, and today we're going to address it, we're going to speak about it, and hopefully through this session we're more enlightened. We can spot the signs, not just in like our lives, but in people that we care about's lives, people that we see. We can spot when somebody's not mentally stable. So I'm just going to start with a quick definition of what mental health is, and then we'll run it from there. If you are joining us again, welcome, cousin. Hi, cousin. My cousin's online, guys. Sorry, I got excited. If you're joining us again, welcome back to Talks with Noelle, episode 8. I do have 2 episodes left after this, and then we'll be done for this year. So thank you guys so much for supporting me this far. I really do appreciate. Like I said, happy new month to everybody. Happy Black History Month to everybody. And happy Mental Health Awareness Month. So the definition of mental health, it says mental health is a condition which is in regards to a person's psychological, emotional, and social well-being. The types of mental health are mood disorders, as I said, so depression, bipolar behavior, all of that stuff, anxiety disorders, personality disorders, have I said eating disorders? Eating disorders, psychotic disorders such as schizophrenia, trauma-related disorders, so like post-traumatic stress, all of that stuff, disorders, and substance abuse disorders. Those are just like the main, I think I said six or seven that I found. Those are like the main ones, but obviously there's other forms of mental health, again, which is not addressed. So today we're really going to talk about mental health. I feel like everybody's mental health is important. Like I said, when I finished shooting season 1 of Talks with Noelle, I decided to take a break because season 1 was good. It was amazing. I was so happy that, we got season 1 out of the way and it was so successful. But then I really had to sit down and decide where I wanted the show to go. And that's the reason why I had to take a break, because I felt like I was enjoying the hype so much that I nearly lost control of the vision. So I thought, let me sit down, let me actually plan where I want this to go next, what I want to do with it, and all sorts. So that's why I took a break and then came back. Also, when I finished uni, I went through like I don't want to say depression, but I guess we can call it that, like a mini depression, because I couldn't find a job after uni. And I was just thinking, whoa, this doesn't make sense, because all your life you're told, go to school, study hard, finish uni, get good grades. When you finish uni, you get a job. Then I finished uni and the job wasn't there. And I was just like, wow, uni's a scam. I was thinking, school is a scam, uni's a scam. Everything, I've just been scammed by the government. Now I'm in debt. I don't have a job. How am I going to pay? So, it really got me thinking. I don't think I experienced any of these disorders personally, because I was eating fine and everything. I was eating fine. So I don't think I had any mood changes. Obviously, you get to, sometimes you'll feel down. Sometimes you'll feel sad. Sometimes you'll think whoa, what am I actually doing with my life? And all sorts. But I don't think I was in any of these categories. Hence the reason why I'm not sure if I can class it as depression. But yeah, I went for a little phase where I just didn't really know what was going on in my life. I was just thinking, I've done everything I'm meant to do by book and there's no job coming. And it was really, really hard. So, yeah, it was really hard. And then, because it was so hard and I was stressing myself out. Okay, stress related. This was stress related. I was stressing myself out. So I felt ill for a bit. And obviously I went to the doctors. They did all the checks. I just think you're stressed. I just think you're stressed. You just need to chill out. And I was just thinking, easy for you to say, you're in a job. Do you know what I'm saying? It's very, very easy for you to say that when, life is comfortable for you. But, yeah, by God's grace, I came out of it. And I think I did maybe 3 episodes ago or 4. I spoke about how I came out of it. And it was just really I had a lot of things going on in my head as well. So it was really a lot of things. So I had to write down things. I find that when I write things down, it makes it clearer for me. And because it's written down, it's still in my head, but it's not at the forefront, if that makes sense. I found me personally, when I write things down, they just, it's like a sense of relief. Let me put it that way. So I had to, write the things I wanted to do, write things down. When I was feeling a certain way, I just had to find ways. And luckily for me, I had good people around me to talk to. There was people that would be like, this is not the Noelle that I know. Today you're not how you normally are, what's going on, X, Y, Z, all of that stuff. So by God's grace, because I had good people around me and all of that stuff, I was able to quickly come out of depression, because it's a very dark place. Like I said before, it's a very dark place, because when you're in it, you feel like this is it. Regardless of what people tell you, if someone's like, oh, don't worry, you'll be fine, or someone's like, oh, it's gonna work out. And most people, this is going to sound so bad, but most church people and most people in church and most aunties and everyone has this, it is well. And I kept getting a lot of it is well. And I was thinking, but it's really not well. It's not well. Stop telling me it is well, because it's not. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, when you're in the situation, it feels like this is it. You really feel wow, this is the end of it. I can never come out of it. I can never amount to nothing, blah, blah, blah. But once you come out, you realize it was a mirage, it was an illusion. It was all in your head. It wasn't even that deep. So like I said, but if you know someone that's in it, or if someone happens to be in it, regardless of what you say to them, it'll be very, very hard for them to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So again, that comes with, following up, calling them, checking on them, talking to them, because so many thoughts run through your head. And I told you guys that I really thought it was it, innit? And I wrote did I write? I think I wrote a note, oh guys, just in case, you come tomorrow and I'm not here. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to take my life. I really thought I was going to take my life. But then I wanted to finish watching Scandal and see what happened, because I thought, if I die and I don't know the ending of Scandal, it will be quite useless, innit? So, yeah. I'm saying, now it sounds funny, but back then, that was something that I looked forward to. So it's just Scandal's coming on, so maybe not this week, you know what I'm saying? So yes, it sounds funny now, but back then it was a really, really big situation. So yeah, if you're on here and you have any experience with mental health for yourself personally, or anybody that does, Feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to ask any questions that you may have. Like I said, we do have an expert who will be joining us soon, and we will answer all your questions. I think there's like a question button thing. Just click on that and type your question, and then once the lady comes on, we'll answer all these questions. But I have a question for everyone that's online now. Why is it that in the black community, I can only speak for the black community because that's what I know. Like, I feel like the white community and the other communities are more free, like, in terms of mental health. Why is it that black people are not really free when it comes to mental health? And I mean, in the fact that it's like, we don't really speak about it. I mean, now we're speaking about it more, but like, we don't really speak about it. It's not something that we address. It's not like an issue. It's not something that we actually sit there and be like, oh, by the way, I wonder how your mental health is. I wonder if, XYZ is happening. Why don't we just address it? Like, we just kind of leave it there like, yeah, he'll be fine. Yeah, she'll be fine. Oh, she's okay. Oh, it's a little thing. Oh, don't worry about it. Because like, having the pleasure of like knowing a lot of young people and working with a lot of young people is that sometimes they tell me things, yeah, and I'm just like, whoa. And they're like, oh, like they tell their parents. And their parents just like, oh, what stress do you have? You're only young, don't have any stress. Like, oh, come off it, like, sort of thing. Why don't we actually sit down and address these things? Because the world is mad. That's the truth of the matter. The world is mad. Like, if I was 10 years younger, I actually wouldn't know what to do with myself. Because I thought I was facing pressure growing up. Obviously, I faced pressure growing up. But, like, the generation behind me, or, like, 2-3 generations behind me, it's crazy. Like, the amount of things I hear on a weekly basis, it's actually really scary being their age and, like, not knowing what to do, but at the same time being influenced by so many things. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just wondering, why don't we actually address these things? Why don't we really talk about these things? Maybe your parents' expectations of you. Okay, so maybe your parents have a certain expectation of you. So I'm guessing you mean maybe your parents have a certain expectation of you or for you. So because of that, you try to meet the expectation so you don't address your mental health. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I took from it. It could be that we are mixed. Hold on, I can't see. Oh, it could be that we have a mixed mindset on such stuff, and sometimes people in the black community are shallow-minded on such stuff. That's true. That is very, very true. Yeah, that is very, very true. I agree with that. I feel like there's some things that we're very shallow. We could say shallow, but at the same time, I also feel like it's because we don't have education on it. So because we don't know about it, it's very easy for us to brush it away. For example, say you told somebody, like, say you told a black person, oh, somebody might have mental health issues. They might be like, only a few, like, let's say, like, I don't want to make any wild guess, but only a few people be like, oh my gosh, this is a serious thing, let's tackle this. Others might be like, oh, don't worry, she'll be fine, or he'll be fine, he's just going through a phase, blah, blah, blah. If you tell a black person, oh, somebody has cancer, they'll be like, oh my gosh, cancer, Lord Jesus, they're going to get through it. They're going to give you all the encouraging words, everything you need to hear. They'll pray for you, everything. But when you tell them mental health, there's only a few people who actually have knowledge on mental health that'll be like, whoa, look, this is serious. We have to nip it in the bud now. Or, it could escalate. It can turn into this. It can turn into this. Most people just be like, yeah, don't worry, it's just a phase, she'll get through it. Or like, like most teenagers have the transition as they're growing, and then they just go through that phase where every teenager goes through that phase where they just think they're bad, like, they just think they're bad, nobody can chat to them, blah, blah, blah. They'll just be like, oh, he's just being a teenager, or she's just being a teenager, and it's just like, yo, like, it's mental health. There's more to it than he or she's just being a teenager, like, your child is actually going through stuff, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Patricia that's locked in. She's a nurse, but she's not a mental health nurse, so, but she could still give us some tips on these things. Most people brush it under the carpet. Yes, a lot of people brush mental health under the carpet because, like I said, I don't think they have knowledge of how deep it actually is. Like, for instance, from what I've seen, the mindset of Ghanaian parents is stressed to go into work from 9 to 5, feed your kids. I wouldn't say that's all of them, so I have to disagree with that one. Yeah, that's what I tried to say. Okay, cool. That's what you tried to say. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't say that's all of them, but I understand where you're coming from in terms of like, you know, everyone just wants to feed their kids and like go to work and all of that. But like young people do face stress, you know. Young people face stress, especially with social media. Social media has taken like mental health to a whole new level. Like I've read things and I've seen things online where someone's killed themselves because they didn't get 100 likes on their picture. And again, that ties in with like knowing who you are, knowing your self-worth and all of that stuff. Because if you know these things, whether you get 100 likes or not, you posted the picture because you liked it. So whether you get 100 likes or not, you still like the picture. It's not going to change. Just because you didn't get 100 likes doesn't mean that all of a sudden the picture's ugly or the picture's not nice or the picture's not relevant. But social media has taken mental health to a whole new level because now people are trying to impress people in a virtual world that you have no idea who this person is. You've never met them. You're just friends on a virtual world. Literally, you're friends on Instagram. So like people are trying to, you know, impress people on Instagram, and it's just taking everything to a whole new level of like stress. So again, that's I think that's another factor that ties into mental health and that ties into mental health and, you know, just making sure you're sound, guys. Make sure you're sound. Like I said, mental health is a person's condition in regards to their psychological, emotional, and social well-being. So if you feel like you're doing anything that's... Me personally, I don't like stress. I tell people all the time, don't stress me. Stress makes me ugly. I don't like stress at all. I'm very, very easygoing. If something's not for me, won't do it. I don't follow trends. I can't be bothered. I feel like it's too expensive. If I buy trainers and they're not the trainers that's, you know, in fashion or kicking or whatever, then it's what I like. If I post a picture and I don't hit 100 likes, I posted the picture because I like it. Whether you like it or not, that's not my business. I want it out there because I like the picture. Do you know what I'm saying? But like I'm saying, there's a lot of factors that adds up to this. I mean, I've read somewhere where there was somebody who was literally on Instagram live, I think, and they committed suicide on their live. Like they were on live with all of their friends, and I don't know their ins and outs, but I know they were on live with all of their friends, and then something happened. They're in their room, committed suicide. Then all their friends came to their house. Now when the mom opened the door, like, why is everybody here? Like, what's going on? They told the mom, like, well, a child just committed suicide on Instagram live. Like, that's crazy. To me, that's crazy. That's somebody whose mental health needed to be checked on. And people think, like, nobody actually wakes up one day and does anything crazy. Like, all of these things, I feel like there's signs that we may avoid or we may not see. Let me not use avoid because we might not even know of these signs. So there's signs that we may not see. So we might just be thinking, oh, okay, this person's character's changed, but nobody's really doing research to find out why this person's character's changed. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's also a factor into mental health. But yeah, I think there's a question. Let me ask. Oh wow, there's a question. Let me see if I can answer it. I don't think I can answer this one, but let's see. How can you stop depression happening when someone you live with is inducing it? Ooh, that's a good question. Help, guys. How can you stop it? Again, I just think it's a lot of being there for the person, checking on the person. It's something that I love that question. Yeah, mental health is a lot. It's something that you have to make a conscious decision, because, you know, sometimes you say, oh, I'll call this person, and then life gets in the way, so you don't really get to call the person. But you actually have to make a conscious decision, like, you know what, I know this person's struggling. I can see a change in this person's behaviour. This person's not always like this. This person doesn't really eat anymore. This person's like, today they're happy, tomorrow they're sad. Like, I just don't know what's going on. So I think it's a lot of talking to the person. And I think it's also a lot of praying for the person, because you can talk to people and a person might not listen. You can say everything that you want to say. You can show them the website. You can show them the symptoms. You can do all of it, and they might not listen. But I feel like there's some things that prayer does that talking won't even do. So I think it's a lot of praying for the person and just genuinely being there for the person. It's a lot of being there for the person. Shout out to Miss Jemima. It's a lot of actually being there for the person and letting them know, like, bro, sis, I got your back. I know you're going through a lot, and I've got your back. And yeah, I think that's one way that you can stop depression. Like I said, and it's also finding something to to release. You have to find, if you're the person that's in it, you have to find your sense of release. You have to find your sense of release on how you dealt with it. So for me, it was writing things. I found that when I was writing, I was feeling release. When I was writing stuff about how I felt, because there's some people that go through depression after they've given birth, and like that's actually mad. Like, it's so crazy because you've just given birth, like you've brought forth a child into the world. That's like one of the most happiest moments in any woman's life. And then after that, you go into post-depression. There's some people that go through that. So again, I think it just all depends on the person. It all depends on the person. But just find what your sense of release is and use it as an outlet for your emotions and all of that stuff. I hope I answered your question. I really tried. That's the best I can answer it. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Cool. Okay, yeah, Miss Jemima said prayer. My one and only 2% in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, Jemima, this question, I even forgot. You even work with mental health patients. Yeah, Jemima, if there's anything you want to add, please do add it. So just type it, do add it. It just skipped my mind. I just remembered, do add it. So guys, we're talking about depression today. We're not talking about depression. We're talking about mental health. Let me correct myself. We're talking about mental health. Oh, they're online. I didn't even see them. Okay, so we're going to go live with Nicola, who a lady that works with Inside Out UK. Like I said, they do workshops all across the UK. There we go. You all right?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I was talking and I was thinking, oh my God, where is she? Where is she? And then I realized they did come online, but I probably missed you because I was talking. So welcome to Talks with Noelle.
Thank you for having me.
You are most welcome. We're talking about mental health. Like I said, this is your field. So
yeah,
when you're ready, just flow. So
hey everyone. Hi, my name's Nicola and I'm the Assistant Director at Inside Out UK. And we are a social enterprise that basically teach young people about psychoeducation through creativity. So that's everything from theatre productions to concerts to workshops, presentations, all things mental health we cover. And we focus on the creative aspect of that and focused towards the BAME community.
I love that. I love that. So what is the BAME community?
BAME stands for Black and Asian Minority Ethnic Group. So that's kind of like where our focus is, because in our reality, we are the most underrepresented within mental health as far as being forthcoming regarding our mental health, seeking treatment. Yet Black people as a race are more likely than any other race to be diagnosed with severe mental illness. And we're also the most likely to disengage with services. And as you mentioned earlier, having a culture of, oh, it is well, and the expectations of our parents and things, because of that, I feel like we neglect our mental health the most. So as Inside Out, we think it's important to just teach our young people it's okay not to be okay, and it's important to seek help when you need it, and it's good to talk to your friends, family, whoever it may be, about your mental health and how you're really doing.
Okay, so like you said, you deal with the BAME community.
Yeah.
With that being said, what would you say the statistics are? Do you find that you have more Black females or you have more Black males who face mental health?
I would say as far as being forthcoming and open, I think generally females are more open to talk about their mental health. I feel like Black men in particular struggle because just the culture that we have, you know, the misogyny, the strong Black male, even the strong Black woman, strong Black female aspect, but the men in particular. So I would say Vanessa, who's the director and founder of Inside Out, specifically our target audience is a Black male. Like when it boils down to all of our like market research, it is a Black male because they are the most underrepresented within mental health.
Do you know why that?
Overrepresented within mental health hospitals. Sorry.
Do you know why that is? Can you think of any reason why that would be?
Well, we are the least likely to be diagnosed with minor mental health issues and concerns because again, I believe it's down to our culture. We just don't speak on it. But we're the most likely to be diagnosed with severe mental health. And I feel like that's just the whirlwind of building it up and building it up and building it up until we just explode. And unfortunately, that is why we are so overrepresented within mental health institutions and mental health hospitals. And it's just been a cycle like that, unfortunately. But that's like our inspiration to try and change it. I'm glad that we're having this conversation with you now and more people are learning about mental health and it's becoming a more comfortable topic of conversation. I definitely feel like we're getting somewhere with this.
Most definitely. I agree with that. So what would you say are the most common forms of mental health?
Most definitely anxiety and depression. I feel like even amongst society now, those are the most socially acceptable forms of mental health, mental illness. Okay. I'm sorry to do this.
I know what you mean. I know.
Yeah.
Anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. So how does it start? Because I know it'll start differently for different people, but like obviously you guys have workshops and you work with people who actually have different forms of mental health. So what do you find that is more common when people approach you guys?
I find like throughout all of the workshops and meetings or performances we've had, the common denominator is stress. And you know, you already know. Like it's just stress. And I think that not having the right means to express yourself or to release that stress in constructive ways and just holding it in and putting this on your shoulder and putting that on your shoulder and having mum's expectation and auntie's expectation and not having your friends to express yourself to or any means of just general expression. That's why at Inside Out we focus on creativity, because we have a lot of people who have a passion for music, a lot of people who have passion for dance, for writing. I heard you say that when you write things down, you feel better. Even things like journaling, vision boards, any sort of creative means of expression it has such a big impact on your mental health that I think we take for granted. So it's the message that we try to reinforce Inside Out because it's so important.
Okay, and stress is a common denominator for both anxiety and depression.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so we had a question earlier. I'm not sure if you saw it. I'm hoping it's still there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the question. Can you see it?
Oh yeah. How can you stop depression happening when someone you live with is inducing it? Oh, bless. I think it's important that you recognize it. It's very important that you've recognized it. And that's the questions from Damicola 1. So thank you for the question, Damicola. I think, just recognition is the main thing. And I think getting together a care plan for yourself just to ensure you're looking after yourself, just like how in health and fitness, like physical health and fitness, you can make a workout plan and a diet plan and
Yeah.
things. You can do that with your mental health and make like a recovery plan.
Okay.
So, as at our workshops, we share a RAP, which is a well-being and recovery action plan. And
Okay.
I'll speak to Vanessa and see if we can get these materials available for people to that are interested, that they want to use, and if they want to make one for themselves, and we can send them out to you. And
Okay.
it's basically like a well-being plan. So, say for example, music. Okay, music is a big passion of mine. Music makes
Yeah.
me feel good. If I don't listen to music just for one day,
Hmm.
there's a change in my mood. Or if I'm not
Okay.
singing, I notice that impacting me. So
Hmm.
I'll make sure that even if it's 5 minutes each
Hmm.
morning, I'll have a Beyonce singing session just to just to pick up my spirits and keep my well-being where it needs to be. For
Hmm.
somebody else, that may be having a bubble bath with candles lit, or
Hmm.
walking your dog, or whatever that may be, but making sure that each day you're doing something to take care of yourself, doing a mindful practice just
Hmm.
to, you know, to to look after yourself,
Hmm.
we call it mental hygiene.
Okay.
Just like you would take a shower in the morning each day,
Hmm.
do something for your mind that just keeps your spirits high each day. And I'm sorry, Damicola, if you are living with someone who's inducing your depression, perhaps you could express yourself to that person. As I mentioned earlier, expression is huge,
Hmm.
huge in mental health. So expressing yourself and seeing if you could try and reconcile the situation.
Okay. Cool. 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 Wow. I've learned so much already. So the recovery plan that you put together, like you said, is doing
Yeah,
something that you know will keep your spirits up.
yeah,
And for you, that would be music. For me, that would be writing. So for different
yeah.
people, it would differ. Okay, so now how do you deal with a young person who's
Hmm.
may think they're facing mental health, nothing too extreme like schizophrenia or anything, just
Oh
the
yeah,
normal anxiety, feeling down today, feeling up tomorrow, just like the normal mood changes and stuff. But
yeah,
they can't necessarily talk to their parents about it. Not because their parents are not interested, but their parents may not have the knowledge or insight about mental health. So they
yeah.
just think, oh, it's just the whole, oh, just being a teenager, just she'll get over it, he'll get over it. Like, how would you approach a situation like that?
I think, like I said, just having that recognition and knowing where you are is crucial. So always be sure to check in with yourself, because I think people focus a lot on checking in with others, but I think having that initial recognition, making sure that you check in with yourself, like, hang on, today's Tuesday. Am I good? How am I actually? Just even taking that moment to think about how you're really feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So recognition, I would say, is number one.
Yep.
Um, Number two, then expressing how you feel to someone else, because I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of our troubles, whether it's to do with mental health or emotional stress, comes from just holding onto everything
Yeah.
ourselves. You know that old
Agree.
saying, a problem shared is a problem halved.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely finding someone. If you can't talk to your parents, hopefully you've got a friend or a
Mm-hmm.
teacher or a neighbor, somebody that you trust that you can express yourself to.
Yeah.
And then looking at ways that you can manage your stress or whatever's causing your anxiety, depression. And please, guys, as well, don't be afraid to seek medical advice. So
Mm-hmm.
even if you talk to a doctor, you know, don't be afraid to express yourself, even though in your question you mentioned if you don't think it's severe, like a severe mental illness,
Yeah.
the prevention is always better than the cure.
Yep.
So as soon as you recognize a slight change in yourself and you think, oh, this isn't quite right,
Mm-hmm.
by all means, seek medical advice as well. Come to our workshops, seek online advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, just make sure that you're not keeping it to yourself.
Okay. And then you said like if you recognize. So what are the things to look out for? Be it whether you're a young person or you're around
Yeah.
young people, like not even I'm saying young people, but like to be honest, anyone can go through mental health. So
Yeah.
what would be the keys or the things that you should look out for?
I would say within yourself, I think noticing whether there's been a change in your mood, change in appetite. Appetite is huge, like a stress detector. Noticing patterns changing in your sleep. There's different things like around your day to day that you just think, this isn't quite normal. So being sure to check in with yourself to keep on top of that. And also looking out for your friends and your family. So if you notice changes in their behavior, if you notice changes like, oh, it's dinner time, why isn't my sister eating? Or, you know, little things like, just be alert. I think we all need to take more responsibility and not just be responsible for ourselves, but also be alert for others around us. Yeah.
Okay, nice. So now we've come to Inside Out. So tell us about your workshop. Obviously, you already said what you guys do. You try to get people to express themselves in a more in arts way. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
Where can we actually find Inside Out, and how does it run? Did I have to pay fees? Like, how does the business in itself operate?
Yeah. So we're a social enterprise. So we do accept donations, and we do get a lot of our funding from businesses that sponsor us as well, and from different events that we go and speak at. So we host events. We actually do have 2 events coming up this year. So we've got one in November and one in December. So follow our social media, stay tuned. We'd love to see you there. We've got those coming up. We'll be talking at different universities as well, as part of their students union, just again engaging more and more about mental health and to manage stress whilst at uni. We are not having a event this month, but we will be doing a campaign. So again, just follow our social media, stay tuned. And we are also looking for people to join the team. So if anyone's interested, I've got the email address here. So please email info.insideoutuk@gmail.com. I'll write it down. I'll put a comment of it, the full email address. So yeah, come and join us if you're interested to learn more, if you're interested to be part of the team. Yeah, if you've got any general questions for myself or Vanessa, yeah, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome.
That's good. That's amazing. I'm so happy that you said you're looking for people to join the team, because you might not have mental health, but you might have like a good relationship with like young people or whatever. Is there an age limit or an age restriction to the people that you deal with?
There isn't so much an age limit or restriction, because obviously the education about mental health is good at any age, but we more so focus, kind of similar to your target audience, the sort of 16 to 25, but we're even bringing it down a bit because we've been talking at schools and secondary schools. So the age is actually coming down a bit. So yeah, which is great, because again, prevention is better than the cure. The younger you are when you know about this, the more equipped you'll be to deal with the adulting life stress and whatnot. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Amazing. Also, before I let you go, if anyone has any questions on mental health, any questions on anxiety, stress, depression, eating disorders, trauma-related disorders, just anything to do with your mental well-being, emotionally, psychologically, socially, do post it now. Do post your questions now, so Nicola can answer them for you, because she is in a much better position.
No. Girl, you've been doing a great job. You've been doing a great job.
But you have the stats. You have to know what you're talking about. So if you do have any questions, do put it there. And again, Nicola will answer your questions for you. So I'll give you guys time to type, get your questions there, all of that stuff. Oh, there's a question. Give me a sec. Okay, there's 2 questions. All right, let's take Goldus's one first, because she's written it down, so that might go up. It says, how do you advise Christians to deal with mental health? That's a very good question.
That's a very good question. That's a very good question.
Because it's not every day it's as well.
Yeah.
As well, it's not bad. For some people, it uplifts them. For some people, works. Yeah. But for me, I was just thinking, not really seeing it as well right now. But yeah, what would you say?
Yeah, most definitely. I am Christian myself, and it's funny because we have debates around this topic a lot, even at my church. it is well.
Mm-hmm.
However, there needs to be more support than it is well. So,
Mm-hmm.
by all means, you know, we need prayer, we need to have faith, you know, we need to hold true to God and what's in our hearts. But in the same breath, there's nothing wrong with also seeking medical advice
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
doing exercises like our recovery plans, and speaking to counselors outside of church
Mm-hmm.
who are also trained and equipped to help not just young people, all people with
Mm-hmm.
any type of mental health issues. So I believe that it's a combination of both. You can't just rely on the one to sort it out, or the it is well to sort it out. There needs to be a combination of both faith and medical attention to and just a more holistic approach,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like you can't do one without the other for there to be a full recovery and a long-term recovery. Yeah.
I agree. I hope that's answered your question, Golda. She said, just because most Christians don't admit mental health or even know that they have one. That's true. That's
Most
true.
definitely.
I agree with
Most
that. And
most
then,
definitely.
oh, go on. Sorry, as you were saying.
No, I was saying most. I think that it's important to realize that we've all got, just like how we all have our physical health, whether it's in good shape or not so good shape, we've all got
Mm-hmm.
mental health, and that sometimes it's in good shape and sometimes it's in not good shape, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. It's
Mm-hmm.
nothing to hide from.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to, God forbid, break your arm, you wouldn't just say, "Oh, it is well." You
Mm-hmm.
would go to a doctor and get a cast and do your term of recovery. It's the exact same for mental health. So I really look forward to the day where all of this stigma can just be brushed aside and we can actually start looking after ourselves holistically.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah,
Lovely. She said that answer helps. Okay, so Adjoa says, how long does it take to overcome depression? Ooh.
yeah. Um, Essentially, there isn't really an answer to that question, because it's all just like all of our brains are unique and complex and individual. So is our mental health, and
Mm-hmm.
I can't sit here and say, oh, it will take 3 weeks, as long as you do your recovery plan and go to
Mm-hmm.
church, and you know, there isn't a set time. It's just time, and it's like an ongoing journey, just to make sure you keep yourself in that good place and you keep expressing yourself and you upkeep your mental hygiene. It's a process. Yeah.
Agreed. Okay, we have one more question that I can see. I just put it up. There we go. Golda said, do people create mental health issues for themselves or it just comes? That's a really good question.
That's a really good question. She's Goldust. I love that name.
That's
Okay.
actually her name as well. Like the
Oh,
name on a certificate. That's actually her name.
oh, is it? Oh my gosh. Hey, girl. Thank you for your question. And do people create mental health issues for themselves or it just comes? Um, Again, I think that's quite a again, because our minds are so complex, it
Mm-hmm.
varies. I do feel like, say for example, if you've got an underlying stress
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know how to manage it, you may, just from lack of knowledge, do things to add to your stress and essentially impact your mental health in a negative way. So
Mm-hmm.
in a sense, yes. And some people, unfortunately, they may have mental disorders that are hereditary,
Mm-hmm.
so just within their biology. But again, I feel like with the right treatment, with the
Mm-hmm.
right counsel, and the right just recovery action plan, um, all mental health disorders can be managed,
Yeah.
just the right support.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also to add on to that, I feel like not some people also once they've come out of it, they obviously do things to put them back into it. One, and some
Yeah.
people like the attention that they got
Yeah.
when they were in it, so they try to stay in it as long as they possibly can. Because maybe
Yeah.
before they weren't getting everybody calling them, like everybody checking on them, everybody
Yeah.
making sure they're fine. This person wanted to take them out and so forth. So once they've recovered, they try to essentially milk it as long as they can.
Yeah.
So I think some people also do that, which is not good for your health, because like we've just
Not at
tackled
all.
this situation. Why are you letting it linger? If you
Yeah.
know. So yeah, that's what I'll add to that. But
No,
yeah,
definitely.
guys, if you have any more questions, please do write the questions either using the question mark tab or just type it into the comments. We literally just have Nicola for a few more minutes, then she has to go. So yeah. So this is a bit personal, so you don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But have you experienced any form of mental health?
Oh, most definitely. Um, I've experienced anxiety,
Okay.
and this was about like 4 years ago now. And
Okay.
this was after I'm at uni at the moment. I'm studying social work, but
Okay.
I was at uni previously, like again, like 4 years ago.
Mhm.
But I just was not in the right headspace.
Mm.
Yeah, young, too much going on, and I did have a few months where I was experiencing anxiety,
Yeah.
and I started having panic attacks, and I didn't even know I was having loads of them, and I didn't even know what they were
Mhm.
until my sister, until I had one when I was on the phone with my sister, and she was like, "Yeah, I think you're having, I think you're having a panic attack."
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I can laugh at it now, but obviously in the moment it's not funny. I thought, girl, I couldn't breathe. I was like, what's going on? But
Yeah.
again, I feel like just not having the knowledge of even what a panic attack looks like
Mhm.
we don't learn about mental health at school, or when I was at school, we weren't having this conversation like how me and you're having like 4 years ago. It just
Mhm.
wasn't as prevalent. So I didn't even know what was happening to me whilst I was experiencing it.
Yeah.
So that's where my passion for mental health really started once my mental health started to take a toll. And I started learning more about mental health, learning how to look after myself, learning
Mhm.
how to help and advise others. And that's how I got involved with Inside Out. And when I met Vanessa, we just clicked. And it's just been a journey from there, really. But
Yeah.
and I guess we all have ups and downs with our mental health and things like that.
Mhm.
But I've not had a panic attack since like 2015. So
Amen.
it's just, amen, girl,
Amen.
amen, yes. But it's just yeah, important to just keep on top of things and look after ourselves, really, ultimately. Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. I love that. I love your testimony as well. That's amazing.
Oh, thank you, girl.
Yeah. So before we let you go, just let us know how we can get in contact with you. If anyone's watching that may have any form of mental health, may have
Yeah.
any questions that they want to ask, are your DMs open? Can they DM you? Like, how do they get in contact with you? Just let us know.
Yeah, please feel free to DM us, email us, contact us regarding any questions or queries you might have. Like I said, I'll speak to Vanessa about seeing if we can send some recovery action plans out to people.
Mhm.
Um, Again, we are looking for people to join the team. And so the email address is info.insideoutuk@gmail.com.
Mhm.
I'll type it in a sec. And our Instagram is insideout_UK. We're on Twitter as well. Tweet us. Just feel free. Yeah, we want to connect with you guys. And if you want us to come and talk at your school or your uni or church, email us, and we'll be happy to arrange a workshop.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nicola. I know you're in uni. I know you probably have an assignment somewhere that you're doing. So,
That's me.
to take time off and, come and educate us and speak to us about mental health. I'm so grateful. I don't take it lightly because I know what
Thank
uni is
you.
like. So thank you so much. I wish you all the best with uni, with all your exams, all that stuff. God favor you for just coming on the show. So
Oh,
thank you so much for coming on. We
thank you
appreciate it.
so much. Thank you so much for inviting Inside Out onto the show. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you to everyone that's tuned in. We hope that what I said helped. And I love what you're doing, Noelle. Just keep doing the amazing work. You're working hard. You're shining. You're grinding, girl. Keep
Thank you.
shining. We love to see it. Yeah, it's amazing. It's so inspiring.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So have a good evening and we will definitely be in touch.
Definitely. Take care, guys. Bye.
Okie dokie. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So that was Nicola from Inside Out. First and foremost, I want to give a big shout out to my plug because I don't do these things by myself. So shout out to Goldust. Goldust is the one that plugged me and said to Goldust, I want to talk about mental health next week, but I can't seem to find anyone. I don't have anyone in my head. And Goldust was like, oh, I have a friend called Vanessa. So, message Vanessa. And she was like, look, I can't make it, but we have a big team. Nicola will be perfect. So I spoke to Nicola and she was just like, yeah, I'll do it. So thank you to Nicola for coming on. Thank you to Vanessa for starting her social enterprise. Thank you to Goldust for plugging me. And thank you all so much for watching today's show. Thank you for tuning into this episode. Guys, please, your mental health is important. I know, everyone has dreams, everyone has plans, everybody wants to chase money, everyone wants to make money, all of that stuff. But guys, the money is no good if you're dead. The money is no good if you're mad, essentially, in quotes. So guys, please, your mental health is so important. Take time to look after yourself. I know the world is moving fast. I know, we want to be in everything. We're trying to be everywhere and be in everything. But guys, please, 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 take time. If you need to come off social media, but for whatever reason, please do it. Put yourself first. Your mental health is so important. I can't stress it enough. So guys, please do take the time out that you need. Doesn't make you weak. Black men specifically, talking about your mental health, talking about how you feel, taking a break, does not make you weak. If anything, it makes you strong, because it really takes courage to really break down how you're feeling and tell someone how you're feeling. Do you know what I'm saying? So please, guys, I love you all. And I want you guys to have good mental health. I want you guys to really be A1. If you feel like you need a break, take it. Me, I take breaks all the time. There's sometimes I'll just switch off my phone. I don't want to talk to nobody. Not because I'm sad or anything, because I'm drained. I'm tired. Physically, I'm tired. Emotionally, I'm tired. Spiritually, I'm tired. Everything, I'm just tired. And I just need time to really just be alone with my thoughts, with God, and just really connect and just, make sure everything here is functioning the way God intended. So, so I take breaks all the time. And I'm sorry if I have to take a break and you guys don't get content. I'm very, very sorry. But I'm not really sorry, because at the same time, my mental health is important. So, like Nicola said, if you guys want to join the team to help them, or you have any questions, any queries, please email info.insideoutuk@gmail.com. So that's info.insideoutuk.com. Follow them on InsideOut_UK on all social media platforms, I believe. You can DM them, tweet them, Facebook them. But yeah, just get in contact. And if you are somebody, or you know somebody who's had previous mental health issues, do always go back and check in with them. It's very, very important. So this brings me to the end of today's show. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Talks with Noelle, #TWN, episode 8. I only have 2 more shows left. So the next one will be next week, Tuesday, the 8th of October. And then the last one for this year and the last episode of this season will be on the 15th of October. I'm really trying to get a guest for you guys. The guest I'm trying to get, you lot pray for me. Pray I find favor, because if I get this guest, yeah, you lot will understand. So I have 2 more episodes left, and I'm trying to get a really big guest. I don't want to prematurely announce it, but when it happens, I'll let you guys know. So stay tuned. We have 2 more topics. We're definitely going to address character, because I think it's so needed. So we're going to talk about character. But stay tuned. Follow me, NFTV_ and Noelle Francesca on Instagram. Follow me, follow my journey. There's so many things that I have to tell you guys. So many things we're going to discuss. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. I know everyone's busy. Everyone has a busy schedule, but I don't take you guys being here for granted at all. To everybody that's tuned in today, thank you very much. Have a great evening, guys. I will see you same place, same time next week, Tuesday. Talks with Noelle, 8 to 9 o'clock, right here on Instagram. Don't go anywhere. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening, and we'll talk very soon. NFTV to the world. I'm back. Thank you guys. Mwah. Love you guys. Goodbye.